$100 million, looting of gold reserves involving Scott Sampanya, MP from Abuku. The list of scandals is endless. The above shows that Emerson is looting this country dry through his Zigananda cartel. This is why last time we said he deserves to be impeached, and that avenue is still open. He is no longer in control of the party, the government, and the state. Today, unelected people, his wife Auxilia, and the Zigananda's cabal, led by Tagurei, are running the looting show. Emerson is unfit to govern, suffering from vascular dementia, his mind no longer in his own hands, and his medical condition is deteriorating very fast. He is planning to tear our constitution apart, scheming to extend his rule to 2030. He has been working with his surrogates, who include Daniel Garrett, Ziambe, Virginia Mabiza, Wikino Tivayo, and others to illegally make himself a life president. The 2030 noise is even growing to 2035. Not for service, not for the people, but for more years of looting. Last time, I implored Vice President Chiwenga and other generals to take action. We are responsible for bringing Emerson into power. It's our responsibility to take him out. We are part of the problem, and we should be part of the solution. General Chiwenga, General Sbanda, General Sanyakwe, General Rugeta, General Makuyana, General Matatu, General Munda, and others. Nyika yachema, nyika yachema, nyika yachema bedwe, nyika yachema. Can you heed to the people's cries and intervene? Please, and intervene soon. Any day longer, Emerson stays in office, Zimbabwe bleeds. The plunder is staggering. And while they feast, our people suffer, fleeing in their thousands, becoming economic refugees and slaves in the UK, South Africa, Botswana, and beyond. Fellow Zimbabweans, for 2 months, I thought Emerson would reflect on his actions and try to do the right thing. I was wrong. Instead, he has become bolder in his corruption. He is even more brazen. He is even trying to smuggle Tagurei into the ZANU-PF Central Committee. The ultimate objective is to smuggle him into the Politburo and ultimately the Presidium. He paraded his Zigananda across the globe. At the Vatican to see the Pope, in Russia, Belarus, China, and Eswatini, signing inflated debt deals. Shame on you, Emerson. And now, as if your planner is not enough, you attack the very heart of our liberation, the land reform program. We fought for our land. Robert Mugabe redistributed it to all veterans and the landless, Zimbabweans. Yet you work with Tagurei to privatize it using a dubious title deed scheme that will see farmers lose what they paid for. Your greed knows no bounds. This must be stopped. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, the ZANU-PF party structures and the grassroots to bury this 2030 madness before it takes root. The Gananda must end now. We will be there at the conference. We are coming for you. To those who were being used to get General Chiwenga and other generals at government events, the likes of Gary, the madman, Mavetera, Muswere, Masbirebwa, Machacha, Cherenge, Chinamasa, Muda, Ziambe, Kazembe, Virginia Mabiza, Douglas Mahia, and others. We will meet at the conference. We are ready for you. Sikundo Sangana Ikoko. We want to know who sanctioned your actions. Where did you get the power to attack the vice president who sacrificed his life for the country and for Emerson, who had already fled the country? Chiwenga is one of the few remaining members of the High Command. We want to applaud those who have seen the light in time, the light of Kinoma Chekayere. Fellow Zimbabwe, make no mistake, Emerson will not finish his term. There is a lot that is taking place. The wheels of change are turning, powered by every progressive Zimbabwean who says enough to this looting. The wheels of change are turning, powered by every progressive Zimbabwean who says enough to this looting. We'll end the looting in councils and the central government. We'll end the road in the transport, health, tourism, and other ministries where inflated tenders go to the Gananda companies. Fellow Zimbabweans, trust me, we'll walk this road together until Mnangagwa is gone. The wheels of change have been in motion for a long time. Our destination is in sight, and we are firmly in control. Zimbabwe belongs to us. Zimbabwe belongs to everyone. No one will save it but ourselves. And we will save it from the pangs of Emerson, his corrupt children, and his Gananda's cabal. Emerson, between now and the conference, you still have time to do the right thing. And you know what this means. Aluta continue. This time, as Kone Makobrens, Anoenda Cheta. God bless you. God bless Zimbabwe. I thank you. Pachipamwe muri yeZimbabwe. Tautaura nemndimi yekwamai. Chekutanga, chikumbiro chenyu amakatipa kuti tichise kunana General Chiwenga, vana General Sibanda, vana General Sanyatwe, vana General Rugeje, nevamwe vavo, vana Munda nevamwe. Takasvitsa, tikadzoka takutaura kuti tasvitsa. But mandituma futi, ndakusvitsa chitemo chamakakumbira kuti veduwe mageneral matiregerera. General Chiwenga, sorry. Now my general. Tinoziva kuti imwi ndimwi makaudza ED. Maudza ED. Tinogara tichitaura nyaya iyi yekuti vaMugabe, may his soul rest in peace, vakakutaurirai kuti munhu uyu waburi kuda mukanya haiti Zimbabwe utongi hwayo bedanisire hangu iwe because ndinoziva ndakagara newe kwenguva refu munangagwa asati joina late 70s tanga ndinewe Chiwenga watova member yeHigh Command zvokuti munangagwa paakajoina kuMozambique anga ari pasi pako iwe akajoina sakilame iwe member yeHigh Command kakiti member yeHigh Command ndo level yepamusoro-soro yaitungamira hondo yechimurenga yairwa mukati meZimbabwe. Saka vachiwenga vakati aiwa semunhu ane maprinciples isuwo zvavanga vataurana navo munangagwa hatizvizivi vakati aiwa regedzai tipe uyu mukana right zveshuwa akapuwa mukana after atiza vakadzi 4 haana mbotiza varume haana mbotiza yevamugabe akatiiswa nevakadzi Grace Letwin Mandichimena the late Maoka Meyeso rest in peace ndo vakaita kuti murume atize murume igwara kuti saka ini chinondinetsa ndechekuti mageneral why can't you call this men to order why iye manje mawo veterans nemasoja vatsama vari kutisa hatipasi kuramba takatarisa tichiona vachiwenga vachisvererwa nemahuri akafanana mavaiterana nanagarwe zvimwa mupengo zviya right iwe Emerson wakatarisa and iwe Emerson uchipizo uri comrade sesu chinokunakidza ipapo kujoinana nezvigananda izvi right uchirasana nana General Chiwenga chii iwe mubvunzo iyoyo uri kunetsa masoja right mubvunzo iyoyo uri kunetsa mawo veterans mubvunzo iyoyo uri kunetsa povo saka masoja namawo veterans nepovo iri kuti okay masegerera kwenguva refu because toziva kuti vachiwenga makati hamudi ropa kuti ride okay and so on but enough is enough kana mukasatora action tichatora action and action hatinotora hatitauri saka tiri kukumbirai kuti magenerals torai action museve povo emanje tiri kutaura mawo veterans nepovo iri kutaura right including vachiwenga kuti vanhu ava zvigananda right but iwe Emerson unofamba nezvigananda iwe uchienda nazvo kuma-heads of state uchinovaintrodusa ikoko right uchizvidza right mhuri yeZimbabwe uchizvidza nyika uchizvidza isusu mawo veterans uchizvidza your vice president right kana taakutaura isusu pachizanha forces pachiwo veterans mukuru kwauri right tiri kuona kuti wanyanya kuregererwa and mhosva ine mageneral ndio vari kukuregerera but I'm afraid kuti if they don't take action pane zvichaitika so we urge vachiwenga torai action munangagwa Mufese fair, call him to order. Yes, call him to order. Right? Imagine, anoenda nematsotsi aya kune nyika idzi. Chaasingazivi ndechokuti vemunyika idzodzo vane maembassies avo, right? Vane security yavo inoziva hunhu hwechiganana matsotsi. Saka kana vachinovaintrodusa ikoko, uri kutozvidzawo kuti nyika dzavo nezvigaro zvemheads of state ikoko. Saka please, izvi zvinofanira kumira and zvinofanira kumiswa immediately. Right. Kuma nyaya yeland reform, kana zvichinzi Zimbabwe ndeyeropa, right? Vanhu vese vanoziva kuti national grievance yakatira vanhu kuhondo inyaya yeland. Ropa rakawanda rakadeuka is not a secret. Richideukira land, right? Radeukira land. Vamugamba vakasiya varonga chirongwa chakanaka chokupa mawo veterans land, chokupa maZimbabweans, vasina land. Iwo wakuuya natagwire wako makurivesa land reform yakanzi naVamugabe, land yatengwa neropa, right? Nhasi wakutengesera vanhu land uchiyepera kuti toda kupa matitle deeds, zvimatitle deeds zvefeki, yeti muchida kupa land, right, from maZimbabwe, right? Wakamboona kupi munhu anomanikidza kupa munhu loni yaasina kukumbira, right? Saka tiri kuti kumawo veterans nepo veZimbabwe, chiprogramu icho cheland icho siyanai nacho, because vatiri kuita, because tataura kwenguva refu kuti siyanai nechiprojekti ichocho. Kuzvidza ropa rakadeuka richideukira land, muri kuzvidza, muri kuratidza kuti muri masellouts, because ena musiri masellouts mungade muchirespecta kuti ropa rakadeukira land ndo chinhu chikuru chakairwirwa hondo yechimurembe. Saka siyanai nechiprojekti ichocho chavo chekuda kuba, siyanai nacho, hatiurirani nacho ichocho, right? Kuma provincial chairman, unhu hwenyu hwokuti munopuwa mari momanikidza povo kuti vabvume zvimaresolution zvavasingadi. This time tiri kusangana, tiri kupedzerana. Takaita hondo kuti muZimbabwe muve nedemocracy. Manje maprovincial chairman muri kumanikidza vanhu kuti vaite zvido zvenyu, vaite zvido zvezvigananda, because makatengwa, muri kupuwa dzimota, muri kupuwa dzimari, right? Isu patakasunungura nyika inoyi takasikapuwi kana senti, right? Tokupai kuti chitongai nyika yacho, right? Makuita zvouori, isusu, right, tine right yekuzvimisa izvozvo, and we'll prove it to you, right? Kuti tinozvimisa, and muchazviona this time. Isu mawo veterans no nepovo yedu takabatana, right? Tichazvimisa nyaya dzeukoridzo, right? Ndakanga ndiri kuBulawayo conference, right? Pakaverekwa maresolution. Conference anga yarara yese vachinzi province akati yaendosa 2030, province akati yaendosa 2030, province akati yaendosa 2030. Aizoerenga ndichinamata. Pakanzi naEmerson tinamata atoerenga kuti Emerson akati aiwa, ini constitution yeZimbabwe ndakaparticipata pakuiita, handikwanisi kudimura mutemo wandakabatsira kugadza. Saka Emerson ati haasi kuda, right? Conference yese yakasumuka ikapururudza kuratidza kuti yanga isikatozvifaririwo. Saka nyaya yekuda kutitaurira kuti it's a resolution yakapaswa nevanhu, that's bullshit. Because ene vanhu vaida kuti resolution iyoyo, right, iitwe enforced. Vakati vakataura kuconference kuti aiwa, no, tisi takazvitaura. But even though the constitution haina kuitwa neZANU-PF chete, iconstitution yenyika and haikwanisi kudhisaidwa neZANU-PF chete, inodhisaidwa nenyika yose. 99% yevanhu vemuZimbabwe ndo vakaita constitution. Saka zvokuda kutaura kuti yakaendeswa kunyepa, ndanga ndiri kweni. Vanhu vanga vakunyukidzwa iyo yenye kuti vanzi ma10 provinces machairpersons ndio vanovereka. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. Hakuna zvakadaro, right? Kuri kuitwa conference kuManicaland, iprovince inokosha kuZimbabwe. Nhoroondo yayo mese munoiziva. Vakuru vepolitics vadanha vaningi Sitole, vana Chitepo, right, vana Mutapanengwe, vana Ndangana, vanova vakuru veCrocodile Group, munoziva Crocodile Group inonyemerwa naEmerson kuti anga ari member of the Crocodile. He was not a member of the Crocodile. No, he was not. Right. Vakuru ava vakawanda vacho vaibva kuManicaland. But pahondi yechimurenga, nokuda kwokuti Manicaland yakabatana neMozambique, vana vakawanda vakauya kuchimurenga vari vana vadiki, including vana comrade Monica, vana comrade Opa. Opa inini ndaitova komanda wake, aikoniti baba ndiri komanda wake mukamba yedu ainzi Takawira Kamba, right? Anga ari musikana mwana aiterera zvikuru, but iye manje but ari right Opa akupinda mungwara, right? Vana vakawanda. And kana tichitaura makuva atinoti panyadzonya paya pachimoyo nedzimwe nzvimbo dzakasiyana siyana, ndikati 50% yevana varuma kuwa muya, right? Vakabva kumanikani. Tikada kuona area yakapiwa chaizvo nguva dzehondo, both nemawo veterans, nana Mujibha, nana Chibwido, nepovu yedu, right? Imanikali. Iyo is not a secret, right? Saka conference iri kuitirwa mumanikali. Saka vanhu vemanikali tinokumbirai kuti imwe muchihosta conference ikoko hatidi zvematakanana. Ndingakutaurirai zvimwe zvinhu zvamusingazivi zvokuti Manicaland has been short-changed for a long time. Yeah, for a very long time. Yeah, tikada kuongorora vana matanga vesa kuti akadzikirwa chii basa, you know, pachiunzwa munhu mupurveya in that matter, right? Ane age, ane makore akawanda kupfuura amatanga, but because anobva kumanikali plus uyu akatora nzvimbo yamatanga iyama yaED, right? Matanga was sacrificed. Asina mhosva yaakaita comrade. Vanasi Gauke, the armed commander, also from Manicaland, right? Akaona kuti basa rapera, you know, pa TV. But Gauke is one of the generals akakomanda matank from Inkomo kuti abvise Mugabe to pave way for ED, right? But no treatment yakapiwa iyoyo, right? Napo mageneral akawanda vamwe mageneral akangopuwa maforced retirement achipuwa ma-what-up. 15 of those generals were from Manicaland, right? Kuratidza kuti uyu murume anonzi Emerson, I don't know dakara anaro nevanhu kuManicaland after all the sacrifices they made during and after the liberation struggle. Saka vanhu kuManicaland tinoda kuti atmosphere nguva yeconference wonai kuti zvinangwa zvevakawanda vana veManicaland and other regions vakapfira nyika ndo zviri kutevedzwa. Wonai kuti vana General Chiwenga vanga vari varidzi vehondo ndo vanga vari macommanders ehondo, right? Especially province yeManicaland, right? Much east, sorry, in vana Geza province, kachiti vana Geza, vana Masvingo nematebeleni. Vanhu vakawanda, you know, vaiona General Chiwenga varimo vachisupervisa ma-operations kuFrance. Shamari yanzi Chris Mutsvango ndo vakavhura area yeHonde Valley, ndoko akakuvarira ikoko. Ini ndakatomunesa Chris Mutsvango vanhu vanotaura kuti mutsvango haana kurwa hondo, that's bullshit. Saka Manicaland, please tapota ngationei kuti conference yaitwa mune zvakanaka, matidi zvemaumbo kuManicaland. Muri kuona vana Madiro, right? Madiro patakanyora the controversial communique. The last day in that controversial communique, Madiro joined us. Tichigwa hondo dzamunangagwa. Right? Vamwe vatanga tinawo ipapa. Mukoma wangu Chidhau naGwarazimba. Chidhau is late. May he so rest in peace. Mukoma wangu anizuti chakamura uti Gwarazimba was poisoned. But munhu akabatsira, including nyaya dzemari, kumobiliza kuti Mugabe ave papower to pave way for Mnangagwa. But vakampoisena. Right. Saka ED tiri kana uchizviti uri muveteran une time yokuita the right thing, matauriro ataita, because emaje vanhu vese vari kuchibvunza kuti uyu comrade uyu anongera achikwa makomrades ake. Saka tiri kuti we have time to do the right thing.
Good afternoon, Zimbabweans. Good afternoon, everywhere, wherever you're tuning from. Let us know where you have been watching the Geza Revolution address from, so that we can begin our analysis very quickly. It's just a quick analysis. Remember, here at Change Radio, that's where you get a very diverse, very accurate, and very pro-people analysis of what is going on within the Geza Revolution. Estelle, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. You're audible. You're audible. I just want to share with someone whom I want to join us for this live discussion. Let me see if he can join very quickly. Let me see, 1 minute and then we begin. Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay, I hope he's going to join us. But yes, a quick analysis into what Comrade Geza has been saying. Of course, he mentioned a number of things. Of course, things that he has already mentioned that he has always been talking about. But of course, we are going to go into that. We are going to go into the important points that he talked about. But as Change Radio, we as I said before, we always stand on the side of the people of Zimbabwe, on the side of the citizens of Zimbabwe. I'm sure you agree with me, and Stella will also agree with me here that Comrade Geza continues to make the same mistakes that he has been making ever since. That he is addressing a national issue on a partisan manner or in a partisan manner. That all he was talking about today was the ZANU PF conference that is coming in Mutare in Manicaland. I think it will be in November or December, sometime this year. He focused on that. His address was primarily focusing on what the ZANU-PF Geza faction or the ZANU-PF Chiwenga faction will be doing in Mutare. It remains to be seen whether Geza himself is going to be present at that conference, whether he's going to have the bravery and the guts to be part of the conference. That's something that you can tell us in the comment section there. Do you think Comrade Geza will actually attend the ZANU-PF conference that is coming in Manicaland? That's what he was talking about, and he actually warned Emerson Mnangagwa that we are going to see you, we are going to meet you in Mutare, in Manicaland. So we'll wait and see. So that's the anomaly that Comrade Geza always does. I hope one day you wake up talking about Zimbabwe, talking about things that affect all Zimbabweans, and talking about the solution that will free all Zimbabweans. Unfortunately, he wasn't doing that today. But that as it may, he still continue to raise issues that resonate with Zimbabweans, issues that we, the citizens of Zimbabwe, have been talking about, issues to do with corruption. We have been talking about corruption since the days of Mugabe, and we have argued time and again that it is not sanctions that has killed Zimbabwe. It is not sanctions that has brought the Zimbabwean economy to its knees. It is not sanctions that has brought unprecedented poverty to the people of Zimbabwe. It is actually the levels of corruption, corruption that we have never seen before. That has never been seen before in any country. I think we break the record when it comes to the billions of dollars that are being amassed by what Comrade Geza called Zvigananda, and of course the name that was coined by Vice President Chiwenga, that these people are called Zvigananda. The billions of dollars that are finding their way into the pockets of these people are unprecedented. We have never seen that before. These people are stealing every day. They are bleeding the country. They are bleeding the economy. The two people the few people that are behind Emerson Mnangagwa that we can all label Gananda are now becoming richer than Zimbabwe itself. And that's the reason why you see the Wikinews of this world giving people cars everywhere, like cornflakes on the wedding, because they're getting billions every day. They get all the contracts, they get everything that the government is supposed to be doing. They are the official contractors of the government, and no tenders are being floated. They are just given. So that's where we are. Comrade Geza spoke about that. He spoke about the corruption, and there we agree as Zimbabweans. And he also spoke about the constitution, the usurping of the constitution, where Emerson Mnangagwa is trying to extend his term into 2030. It started as 2030, but as you heard from Garwe, whom Geza referred to as the madman called Garwe, the Minister of Local Government, who is now talking about 2033, which means these people, they're actually digging in. They are not stopping. But as Zimbabweans, we need to stop. So that's personally where I agree with Comrade Geza. Those two are very important issues. The issue to do with corruption, and of course the issue to do with the constitution. If a group of people sit together and decide to 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 um to accept the country's constitution, then every Zimbabwean, every patriotic Zimbabwean must stand up. We cannot fold our hands and say this is a ZANU-PF internal issue. It stops being a ZANU-PF internal issue the moment they touch the national constitution. National means it's Zimbabwean. National means it's for everyone. National means that constitution that they're trying to usurp is a constitution for you and me. And you and me have an obligation to defend that constitution. So I get angry, I get very disturbed when we as Zimbabweans keep quiet when people are trying to mess around with our constitution. You don't find that anywhere, not in any country. Those who are in the diaspora, those in USA, those in UK, even in South Africa, you know that the constitution is supreme, and people should not be messing around with the country's constitution. So I totally agree with Comrade Geza there. Yeah, anyone, in fact, not only Comrade Geza, anyone who is out there trying to defend the constitution, trying to stop some people from illegally extending their term, I support them. I fully support them. And I want to believe every Zimbabwean would want to support a group of people like that or a person like that. Because if you are quiet, what are you saying? What are you doing? What message are you sending? Most people, when I start talking about that, they point fingers at me. But my explanation to that and my response to that is, if you are quiet when someone is trying to mess around with your constitution, then it means you are part to what is happening or what is being done. In a way, yes, whether you like it or not, you are saying yes to the accepting of the constitution. So we want to see all Zimbabweans standing up, all Zimbabweans coming together and have a unity of purpose and defend the country's constitution. Surely, surely, do we want ED Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF to extend their term to 2033? Are we not tired of the suffering that is going on right now? Are we not tired of everything that is going on in Zimbabwe? The resources that are just in the hands of a few people. Are we not tired of all that? I'm telling you, another 5 years. It's 5 years of resources being put in the hands of a few people. It's 5 years of all the minerals in Zimbabwe being controlled by a few people. All the billions that are proceeds from these minerals being in the hands or in the pockets of a few people. That's what the extension of term means. It simply means the extension of the suffering of the Zimbabwean people. And well, let's come together as Zimbabweans and stop anyone who is trying to illegally extend their term, anyone who is trying to mess with the country's constitution. That person must be stopped by all means necessary. So, yeah, that's what I got from Comrade Gezasa address, and something that he just mentioned in passing, the issue of the Chinese, something that is also dear to my heart. What the Chinese are doing in Zimbabwe should be condemned by any patriotic Zimbabwean. They've completely destroyed our country, destroyed our environment. Recently, I read that they are onto the Christmas past. They are, mining on that, beautiful landmark of ours called the Christmas past. Gomoria riri kupazwa. Pane magredha, pane makatapila, pane maeskaveta ari kudambura gomo rese iro riya reChristmas past. They did the same thing in in boterekwa akusisina boterekwa vakapaza paza kwese kuya kuya. Now they are in Christmas pass. And awasu muri kupi. As Zimbabweans, we cannot stand by when people are destroying our country like that, our environment. Christmas pass, you know, my heart bleeds. I love that place. When you drive down uh, that area, you just love being in Zimbabwe. But it's being destroyed right now as we are speaking. Let's rise up, let's stand up together and defend our country and defend our environment. Estela, your thoughts very quickly on Comrade Geza's return.
Yes, my sentiments have not changed much from before. What you labeled a mistake by Geza was to me a confirmation of my reservations when it comes to Geza and his movement. The way that he speaks, to me, is a red flag that we as citizens need to uh, take note of. As you pointed out, Chief, Geza is clearly uh, operating from the context of an internal ZANU conflict. And much as he does mention the citizens a few times in his address, but it's quite obvious the core of his presentation was centered around the factions that are in ZANU PF, where he's mentioning the war veterans and the army generals versus Mnangagwa and the characters that are surrounding him right now. So much as I agree what you say about the constitution, that we should not by any means stand by and allow our constitution to be vandalized, but I feel like if we look at the big picture and if we are looking at the solution that Zimbabwe needs, I feel like Geza might not be a viable means to our end. I'm still very concerned that Geza is driving at his own agendas, him and his cabal, which unfortunately are not very beneficial to the masses, to the average Zimbabwean. So it's a very difficult place for us Zimbabweans. And I feel the reason why we are in a difficult place is that we don't want to do anything ourselves. We want someone to do something for us. So as a result, we are given a choice between a rock and a hard place, whether to let ED continue 2030 or to let the other ZANU faction take over, knowing full well that when all has been said and done, whether it's ED continuing or the Geza faction that's taking over, the average citizen's life is not going to change much. The average citizen is going to continue to suffer, and in either case, the suffering is going to get worse. When you mentioned about Wikno Chiva, you're giving cars, it's something that I've been, contemplating on quite a lot. I think these cars that are being given out, it's a way of laundering dirty money, which is acquired through means that are not so straightforward. And so now it's a way of getting that money into the system so that they can be able to use it. So
Very true. Very true. Very true.
I wouldn't be surprised to find that Mnangagwa actually owns the company from which the cars are being bought as well.
Of course, he does. His son owns one of the castles. So
Yes.
you're very right.
Yes. So yeah. So it's nothing more than just money laundering. And those cars, those who were given cars. Sorry to burst your bubbles, but those cars will be taken. They'll be taken away in due time. And then there's something that I heard Geza say something about that ED refused, that he doesn't want to. That he said that he helped to write the constitution, so he can't go against or violate a constitution that he helped to construct. Did I hear right?
Yeah, yeah. I think I heard something like that.
Yes. So I think those are very important points to take note of, because it paints this picture that the culprits in this whole fiasco are some people who are working from behind the scenes, who are trying even to force him to extend, which I believe happened to Mugabe as well. To my understanding, Mugabe was prepared to step down in 2008, but there are some people who forced him to continue. And then what happened after that? Because Mugabe, he was quite old. He was too old to run a country. So I think that's where this situation, that the looting that you talked about, the levels of looting that are ridiculous, that's what sets the stage to allow those levels of looting. We have Mnangagwa, who is senile, most likely suffering from dementia. He probably has no idea what's happening really in politics in Zimbabwe. He relies on reports that are given to him. So if the people who are giving him those reports are in on this thing, they will just give him.
Much as he is in himself. I mean, he is part of the looting. He is the kingpin. Everyone comes back to him. All these people are for him. Um, Everyone who is looting right now, they pay their percentage to ED. That's how it works.
Yes, I wouldn't object to that submission you made, but I don't think he's the one who's strategizing and orchestrating all that. This is the way I see the picture. The way I see it, he is being used by much younger people who are gaining much more than him, but to keep him happy, they set things up like that anyone who wants to join in the looting has to give a share to him. But first of all, he's not even an intelligent person. As Geza pointed out, Mugabe said that he's not capable. He's not an intelligent person to start with. And now he's even senile and old. He cannot, most old people they need to be reminded to take their meds. They need to have their diapers changed. I very much doubt that he's got his wits about him, and he's conscious and aware of what's happening in politics in the country. I am convinced there are some people behind the scenes, and this is why the looting becomes so ridiculous, because there's no one who's accountable. There's no one who's taking responsibility. We've got a symbolic leader who is not capable of administrating. So those criminal elements are now free to do as they please. This is why you have laws that are instituted today by one member of parliament and rescinded the following day when another member of parliament objects, because we don't have leadership. The country is running on autopilot. There's no president, real president. He's just an an iconic figure that's being used.
You can say that, Estella. I beg a little bit to differ with you there. ED is now one of the richest people in Africa, if not in the world. He's now a billionaire. He's listed in various authentic platforms as one very rich president. He's a billionaire, and his children are on record. The twins, Emerson Jr. and the other one, they want to become billionaires as well, which means his children are also multimillionaires. They are now aspiring to become billionaires. So he is in total control of the looting. In fact, ndicho chigananda chikuru, ndicho chinoto ndo chakagadzira kubata gwirei, kwete kubata gwirei akagadzirwa na ED. Chivhayo akagadzirwa na ED. Yes, right now they've become more powerful because they are getting access to a lot of money, but they still report to ED. Even if you go back to the documentary, to the Al Jazeera documentary, you see that everyone else who was interviewed, they would refer or end up referring to ED or his wife. So they are very much in control of the looting that is going on, which is very sad. But anyway, you can give your closing remarks, and then we can close.
Yes. So my encouragement to the average Zimbabwean is let's not wait for blessed Geza to do something for us, because the simple, honest truth that we all know is that there is no one person who puts other people before themselves, who will go and do what's best for you. Geza is out there doing what's best for himself. And if we are going to fold our hands, and even if verbally we support him and he's successful in his mission, we're going to find ourselves shut out again, a repetition of what happened in 2017 when we helped to remove Mugabe, assuming that because we were part of the process, we would also benefit from it. So my message, my position still remains the same, that let's not allow ourselves to be used. And I'm not saying, so let's fold our hands and allow the ED faction to extend to 2030 or whatever. But I'm also not saying let's help Geza to get the other ZANU faction in power, because neither situation is good for us. What I'm saying is, let's have our own initiative as citizens. Let's do our own thing and remove ZANU PF. Removing ED is just like removing Mugabe. We still have ZANU. And everyone who is in ZANU is there for the looting. You remove one, the one who goes in says, okay, now it's my chance also. They're not going to accept that you have to change the game on them when they just got in. They will become even more brutal because they feel like, no, this is my time. So, yeah, my message to the average Zimbabwean is Geza is not a spring of hope. We have to come up with an answer, with a solution to our situation. I'll hand back to you, Chief.
Yes, I totally agree with you, and that has always been our position as a Change Radio that Geza is not the ultimate savior for Zimbabwe. He is not a liberator. And like you rightly said, Stella, Zimbabweans are always constantly looking for liberators. But liberators do not exist. Even Chamisa is not a liberator. Job Scala is not a liberator. Tendai Biti, any opposition leader you can think of or you want to talk about is not a liberator. As Che Guevara says, liberators do not exist. The people liberate themselves. The people must liberate themselves. So it is us. It is our mandate as Zimbabweans, as citizens of Zimbabwe, to organize ourselves in such a manner that we do what Geza is doing. We end up listening to Geza, and I'll always listen to Geza, as much as some people who start pointing fingers. Oh, Chief Arkuterera Geza, Chief Arkuda Zanu PF, Arkuda. No, 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 no. I am listening to someone who is talking about issues that affect me, that affect all Zimbabweans. He is talking about corruption, and for the rest of my life, I've been fighting against people who abuse other human beings. Corruption abuses people. Corruption abuses the country itself. Corruption abuses everyone because we are talking of mismanagement of resources. We are talking of resources that are meant for the country, that are meant for the people, ending up in Chivayo's pockets, ending up in Kubata Gwirei's pockets, Emerson Mnangagwa's pockets. So I fight that. That's what I've fought for the rest of my life. So if I see someone, whether he's a snake or a lion or a baboon, I will listen to what he is saying because he is talking about the things that I've been fighting for. We've been fighting against corruption. We've been fighting against human rights in Zimbabwe. We've been fighting for issues to do with land that Geza was talking about. So we will listen to him, but we should not, as Estella said, put our hope in him. He is not going to deliver to us a free Zimbabwe. He is going to deliver to ZANU-PF, to a faction of ZANU-PF. So we should always be reminded. So having said that, I will reiterate what Estella has said, that we as Zimbabweans must come together, must come up, must stand up and organize ourselves so that we have a platform where we continue to talk about corruption, where we continue to talk about the massive human rights abuses that are going on in Zimbabwe right now. We address issues of Zimbabweans that have been forced to flee from their country because of what is going on in Zimbabwe. Look at what Zimbabweans that are in South Africa are going through. Your heart should break, and all that can be stopped, and it can easily be stopped if Zimbabweans decide to come together and unite for the purposes of coming up with a better Zimbabwe. Let's do that. Let's not just point fingers at Geza while we're not doing anything. Let's do something. Do something wherever you are. And it doesn't matter you're in the diaspora, you're where we should be doing something. The last thing that I want to mention again is the issue of what the Chinese are doing, what they are doing at the Christmas past, what they've done at Potarekwa, what they did in Mutoko, what they continue to do everywhere else where there are resources. These people they just bring their bulldozers everywhere and they start destroying the environment, and they don't repatriate that environment after they've taken out the minerals that are not even being used for the purposes of enriching Zimbabweans. They're taking them to China. They don't do anything. They don't build roads. They don't build any kind of infrastructure. This is a war that every Zimbabwean can fight. Those that are in the diaspora, why are we not having demonstrations in UK, in America, in Australia, and showing the world what the Chinese are doing in Zimbabwe? And I know we will be joined by other African countries that are disappointed by what the Chinese are doing. I know for sure the Zambians will join us, because look at what they did in Zambia. A whole river was destroyed. A whole river was poisoned by the mining that is taking place in Zambia right now, and people are dying as we are speaking. And I know they're doing the same thing in Tanzania, they're doing the same thing in Malawi. Why can't we start that revolution? And we can start it right here in the diaspora and highlight what the Chinese are doing. But anyway, I want to thank all Zimbabweans that joined on Twitter, or those that were on YouTube, those that are here with us on Facebook.
Oh, Chief, what happened? Yes, thank you. Are you still there, Chief?
Thank
All
you.
right.
Oh, yeah, something had happened. So thank you, Zimbabweans. Let's continue to do the best that we can for our country. But again, let's come together. Let's find each other and let's fight together. Thank you. God bless you.